Basketball, that's because they lost to the second worst team in basketball last night. In fact, they've lost 6 of their last 10 games, and Kevin Durant left in the fourth quarter last night with an ankle injury. He was overheard in the tunnel yelling, "We need to be playing championship basketball." However, Klay Thompson had a different take. Take a listen.
I expect our crowd to be a little more into it, too. Like, I know it's not the playoffs, but it is our last go-around at Oracle. At least you can stand up or something. We make a good play, especially in the beginning. We need that energy, especially this time of the year. It's hard to conjure up energy. So we expect our fans to kind of, bring that from the jump. You can't, it's like us, though. You can't bring it every night, but still, it helps when it doesn't matter if we're playing the Suns or the Bucks, whoever it is. We need that energy from them because we feed off that.
We don't hear a lot of sentiment from Klay Thompson generally, but a lot of emotion after this loss. How alarming is the Warriors' recent slump, CC?
It's not alarming to me. Like, we've seen teams. The reason why teams have a hard time putting together 3 or 4 seasons in a row at a championship level, because you get distracted. It becomes very, very difficult. The expectations change. The players, even their expectations have changed as far as going to the arena. It's the same arena, but they're not putting on the same performance they put on the last 3 or 4 years. So the fans are reacting in that way. I take exception to what he was saying, because I was watching this game, and the Warriors got off to their typical start, had a nice double-digit lead in the first quarter. But they gave up 40 points.
In the second quarter.
In the second quarter. So their defense is not nearly on the level. Now, we haven't seen all the players playing well together. I would say Iguodala is not the same player. Sean Livingston is not the same player off the bench. Draymond, as an offensive player, is not nearly the same. So, Klay, when you're talking about the people at Oracle, because I'm sure they're the same people. All right. Now, do they come to the game with different expectations? They might. But what they've seen on the court is a different Warriors team. They're not as deep as they have been. So the basketball that they're playing, even based on their record, as you can see, is not up to the standard that these fans have been used to. You got them spoiled, Klay.
And listen, I really, really like Klay Thompson. This, to me, was a foolish comment. He said it. He said, he's like, listen, obviously we can't bring it every night, but hopefully the fans could. That's not how this works. Right. And like when the Warriors have made it clear that they are going to take the regular season the last few years kind of for granted, some nights your fans are going to. Now, what is so, it's not even confusing, it's almost predictable about the Warriors at this point, was their games this weekend. I said last week that if they were the Warriors team that we all thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year, they'd blow out the Nuggets. They would remind everybody of that. They would have a real intensity. They would understand the 1 seed is on the line on Friday night with the team trying to chase them, and they would play some of their best basketball. And they had a near 20-point lead at halftime, and they beat the Nuggets by 17 points. But it's like the moment they did that, it's been since February 12th since they've won back-to-back basketball games. Think about that. It's almost been a month since they won back-to-back games. But the other point you made, see, about Draymond. All right, so Draymond obviously is out there for his defense, and they allow 40 points in the second quarter, and Draymond's defense has not been up to the level it had been in recent years. But if we show the last meaningful play of the game, this is where Draymond has been killing them. Let me just set the stage a bit. Steph's bringing the ball up the court. They're down 3 points. Steph is double-teamed the entire time. And when he throws it to Draymond, you can see it. No one is guarding Draymond, and he didn't even look to the basket. It's a 3-point game. The 73-win season, Draymond shoots that ball. 2 years ago, post-73-win season, he at least turns and faces, so they have to collapse on him, and you go, good shot, great shot. Draymond is being guarded on that possession like a Ben Simmons. Like, we know you're not shooting, so we can just use the man away from you. That, once Kevin Durant goes out of the lineup, as he did midway through the fourth quarter, all of a sudden that offense can be quelled even with the great Steph Curry on the court. Like, that play right there is telling, because guys are just saying, all right, Draymond, no problem whatsoever. He was 38%. The 73-win year. He was 34% the following season. Now he's under 25%, and guys in big spots are guarding him accordingly.
Steph Curry said after the game, it seems like the difference between this year and last year is, yeah, last year we had a little slide, but we were injured. This year we're having the slide. We're all healthy. It seems like that's an issue right now. They can't seem to get it all together. Is that how it feels to you, see, watching this year and watching last year, that they can't quite put it all together?
Well, last year they did have a built-in excuse, and last year they still played with more energy. You didn't see the inconsistency this late in the season when all the guys were healthy. But they really have a problem because we won't ever be able to give them enough credit because what a collection of shooters they have is really special. But, man, they were a great defensive team. And that's how you win championships, because you can't shoot threes every night and depend on it. Ask Houston when they went cold last year. You have to be able to play some defense. And that is what made the Warriors so special. That's what has made them one of the best teams, not only of talent, but as far as record. And that's why you could put them in oh, man, would this team beat the Bulls? Would this beat the old Lakers? Because on the defensive end, they've been special.
On that note, in the last 30-plus years, only 2 teams have won a championship without a top 10 defense. One of the Shaq Kobe Lakers and LeBron's team in Cleveland. The Warriors right now are the 14th ranked defense in basketball. So they're not going to get up into the top 3 as they had been early on. But if you stay out of the top 10, historically speaking, you're in the danger zone as far as being a championship team.
All right, we'll take a break. Coming up, who won the Antonio Brown trade? It's ahead on